Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss about different types of flow. Basically, flow of liquids in fluid dynamics is classified into two. First one is streamlined flow and second one is turbulent flow. Now, this classification for the flow of fluid is based on two terms. First one is known as critical velocity and second one is a dimensionless number known as Reynolds number. So, first let us see what is critical velocity and what is Reynolds number, then study about streamlined flow and turbulent flow. Now, critical velocity. The critical value of velocity is the limiting value of velocity of flow up to which the flow of fluid is streamlined and above which the flow is said to be turbulent. It depending upon the fluid, depending upon the density, depending upon the diameter of the pipe or the tube through which the fluid is flowing, critical velocity will be obtained, and if the value of critical velocity or if the fluid which we are going to study exceeds the velocity above critical, then the flow is known as turbulent, or if the velocity is less than the critical velocity, then the flow is known as streamlined flow. The critical velocity is obtained using the equation Vc, which is a critical velocity representation. Vc is equal to Re eta divided by rho d, where Vc is the critical velocity, Re is the dimensionless number known as Reynolds number, eta is the coefficient of viscosity, rho is the density of the fluid, and d is the diameter of the tube or the pipe through which the liquid or the fluid is flowing. So, if we know the diameter, if we know the density, the coefficient viscosity of the fluid which we are using, Reynolds number, then we can calculate critical velocity, and if the velocity of the fluid which we are studying is less than Vc, then definitely the flow is streamlined, else it is turbulent flow. So, what is Reynolds number? It is a dimensionless number which determines the nature of flow of the liquid or the fluid through the pipe. It determines whether the flow is streamlined or whether the flow is turbulent, or the flow is like mixing up of streamlined and turbulent. And the equation is R is equal to rho b d by eta, where rho is the density, v is the velocity, d is the diameter of the tube, and eta is the coefficient of viscosity. And if the Reynolds number lies between 0 and 2000, then the flow is said to be streamlined. If the value of Re is greater than 3000, then the flow is turbulent. So, there will be a value between 2000 and 3000, isn't it? And if Reynolds number is between 2000 and 3000, then the flow can be streamlined and turbulent, which means it will be unpredictable. In certain areas the flow will be streamlined, in certain areas the flow will be turbulent. So till now I am using the term streamlined and turbulent. Now what is actually streamlined flow? What is actually turbulent flow? Let us see what is streamlined flow. Imagine you have a pipe or a tube, okay, and a fluid, any fluid, say water, is flowing through the tube. Okay, now you take 3 different points of flow. Okay, let us take to observe, to study if the flow is turbulent or streamlined. Taking 3 points A, B, C, and imagine the water is flowing and the particles of water flowing through this particular portion will pass through point A, point B and point C. Okay, let the velocity of the particle passing through point A be v1 at an instant. When this particle reaches point B, its velocity be v2. When this particle reaches point C, the velocity be v3. So same particle, water molecule or water particle is passing through point A, point B and point C, and at these 3 points the velocity of particle is v1, v2, v3. Now let another particle pass through the same point, and if at point A the second particle is also having velocity v1, at point B if the second particle is having velocity v2, at point C velocity of second particle, not the first one which has already gone, but the second particle is again v3, then we can say the flow is streamlined, which means if the velocity of the particles passing through a particular point during its flow remains the same, in the sense the magnitude should be same and the direction should also remain the same, then such flow is said to be streamlined flow. So at this point, how will you find the velocity? Just draw a tangent into the direction of flow. At this point, direction of flow will be like this. At this point, direction of flow will be like this. So if the speed and direction of the particle passing through a particular point during its flow remain same, then the flow is said to be streamlined. And this path along which the particles are moving is known by the name streamline. We have streamlined flow. Streamlined flow means if the velocity and direction of the particle, or if the speed and direction of the particle remains constant for each point in the flow of liquid, during the flow of liquid, then such flow is known as streamlined flow, and the path along which the particle is moving is known as streamline. Okay, so let us define what is streamlined flow. When a liquid flows such that each particle of the liquid passing through a given point moves along the same path in the same direction and has same velocity as its preceders, then the flow is known as streamlined flow. Okay, so each particle should be having same velocity in the same speed, same direction, should follow the same path as that of its preceding particles, then such flow is known as streamlined. And if such a condition is not satisfied, then the flow is known as turbulent, which means the velocity of the particle, the path of the particle keeps on changing throughout the flow. Each and every particle is having different velocities throughout the flow in different directions, and such flow is known as turbulent flow. Okay.